Hello, everybody. Meteorologist Noah Bergren here. It's just after 3 o'clock on a Monday afternoon, the 10th of November, 2025. We've got an Arctic blast to talk about here. Hope you've had a great day so far on Facebook, YouTube, and Fox Local. We're going to be getting the feed up here on Facebook and YouTube coming up in a second. But if you have a question, comment, or a concern, I would love to hear about it in the comments below. We've got really one of the more significant cold shots in Florida on record for the month of November. Now, cold in Florida is not rare. In fact, we do get plenty of these Arctic shots into Florida in most winter seasons. But the reason why this one's going to be so significant mainly is because of how early in the year it is, the year being the winter season. So hello, how are you doing? We're on Facebook, YouTube, Fox Local. I've got the comments here. Please put a comment in the feed. Let me know where you're watching from. Say hello. Go ahead and click the share button here too. And share. This is obviously my page, but I'd love to know where you're watching from if you have a question. And also on YouTube. Hello, Alice. What's going on, Alice? How are you? So let's just dive right into what we're tracking because we've got some really significant weather to talk about over the next few days. So Facebook, YouTube, Fox Local. Don't forget Fox Local, friends. You'll see a break, commercial break. Pay some bills about 3:10 and then again about 3:20. But if you're on Facebook, YouTube, we'll keep going all the way through 3:30. All right, so let me just start you with what's going on up north because this is where the air is coming from. And this is St. Joseph, Michigan. Look at that. That's where the air is coming from. We have got heavy lake effect snow out there right now up in Michigan. And look at the feels like ratings now across the country. 60 in Orlando. 82 in Miami, 27 in Atlanta. Let me take this full so you can see it here, nice and big. 82 in Miami, 25 in Nashville, 30 in Memphis, 19 in Lexington, 31 in Pittsburgh, 27 in Chicago, 44 in Monroe, Louisiana, 29 in Springfield, Missouri, 20 in Sioux Falls, 20 in Fargo, and already 51 in New Orleans and 40 in Macon. So the cold is coming fast, and it's going to come screaming on in here for tonight, then again into tomorrow, and also into Wednesday. Hello, Colton from Smithland. How are you? It's pretty cold up there. Got some flurries even as far south as Nashville right now. Pretty significant there. What's up, Mom? How are you from Connecticut? Love you, miss you. If you're on Facebook, YouTube, Fox Local, would love to hear from you and what you're tracking. So, and what you're wondering about in the weather. So let's just get right into the forecast quickly for tonight and tomorrow here in Florida, then I'll expand out. So here's the lows for tonight and tomorrow. We're talking about 35 in Sanford, 32 in the Villages, 30 in Ocala. These are the air temps by daybreak tomorrow. 37 Kissimmee, 36 Winter Haven, 34 in Clearmont, 33 in Palm Coast, 36 in Bithlo, 42 in Melbourne, 43 in Cocoa Beach, and about 35 in Sanford Lake Mary. And the highs for tomorrow are only going to stay in the 50s, which is going to be record-shattering. Very seldom do we have this in November. 57 the high tomorrow in Orlando, 56 in Ocala, 56 in Daytona Beach, 61 in Cocoa Beach, 57 in St. Cloud, and 55 tomorrow in the Gainesville area. So this is going to be very significant for how early in the year it is. We've got a storm team alert issued for tomorrow, today, tonight, tomorrow, meaning that the weather is going to be highly impactful and significant in your neighborhood and backyard. So here's the temperatures right now. We're still in the 60s. The cold is actually still coming in. It hasn't really arrived fully yet. But what I want to show you is the wind chill forecast for tomorrow morning. And let me just let this play here. We'll bring this to Tuesday at 8 a.m. Yeah, there you go. So here's the wind chill tomorrow morning. Take a look at this. Take a look at that. Yeah, look at that. 29 in Sanford, 28 in DeLand, 29 in Daytona Beach, 38 in Cocoa Beach. I mean, this is some significant chill for how early in the year it is. Let me know how you feel about this. Hello, Harry from Titusville. Hello, Port St. Lucie. Lauren, we're also on Fox Local and YouTube. Would love to hear your questions, comments, concerns. Now, not many often places do you get this in the 80s. My friend moved to Florida, so I like to keep an eye on the area. Carrie, what's up from Wyoming? Hello, excellent. Sparta, New Jersey. David, hello on YouTube. If you have a question, comment, or a concern, hello from Kissimmee, Berlinda. How are you? What's going on? Put in some comments here. Hello, hello, hello. Lauren Campbell checking in as well on Facebook. Hello, hello. Good to see you there, Laurel. Pull up some other comments here. Love to hear from you. Harry Vanderkamp from Titusville. Hello, how are you, Harry? Thanks for checking in on Facebook again. If you have a question on YouTube or Facebook, love to hear from you out there on this Monday afternoon. All right, so there's the wind chills for tomorrow morning. We talked about that now. The peak of the cold is tomorrow morning, but Wednesday morning, the winds are going to go lighter. We might even have some frost concerns out there for Wednesday morning. So here's the radar right now. There's nothing really doing across Florida, but look how close the snow is here. You know, Orlando's about right here. Like 390 miles to our north. We've got snow showers right now. Yeah, look at that. There's literally snow showers not that far to our north. And this cold air is crashing this way. Now, we're not going to get snow showers in here into Florida. But yeah, there's snow showers into Atlanta, snow showers into Nashville, snow showers all throughout Kentucky, some heavier snow showers here in West Virginia. Then you go up here towards Pittsburgh, big snow showers in western PA. All this air is coming off the still unfrozen lakes. Big lake effect snow bands here around Cleveland, a couple around Buffalo, a few around Syracuse. But the big lake effect snow bands have been up here in Michigan. And look how intense and narrow this band is right here. Very strong lake effect snow band that continues to come off of the lake and into southwest Michigan and northwest Indiana. Chicago area is done in terms of this snow, so no more snow for Chicagoland, but also really big push of lake effect snow here over towards Niagara Falls, then over into the rest of eastern Canada, seeing some big lake effect snow as well. In fact, look at the snow here over the past 24 hours. Look at the snow totals. Yeah. I mean, this has been some big time snow for how early in the year it's been. We'll come over towards Chicago. I mean, this is the radar estimated snow that has fallen. I mean, look here around Chicago. You can see right in downtown, 4.5 inches. Northwest Indiana, nearly 9. By Michigan City, 5 or so. Over towards, you get out in the western burbs of Chicago, up by Wheaton, maybe only just 2 inches of snow. But yeah, this was pretty significant for how early in the year it was. You see there right in downtown Chicago, 4 inches, 2 inches, 2.6. Big time snow. And then you go over towards Ohio, parts of New York, upstate New York, really big snow up in Buffalo, West Virginia, and over into southwest Indiana. But again, we're not going to see snow into Florida, but there's snow showers not really that far to our north right here right now, and it's, again, not that far to the north of Orlando currently. Let me know where you're watching from. If you have a question, comment, or a concern, I'd love to hear from you here on this Monday afternoon and evening. So the temperatures are the big story. We've got this storm team alert out because of the threat of the freezing temperatures. Here's the view from up north, which is not going to look like that here anytime soon. But this is in St. Joseph, Michigan, where it just continues to really, really hard lake effect snow up there right now. So the other story we've been tracking, not related to the temperatures, is the airport situation. Having flown yesterday back from the Carolinas into Orlando, it was a disaster. Nothing major yet today, but that's going to probably build into the night. So just heads up if you have family flying into major airports later today and tonight, that's going to be something to monitor. Now, the humidity is going to go down too, and you can see where the cold really is. Where the dew points are in the 20s is where the big cold is, and that cold is still surging in from the north. Chapstick air, definitely. Dry skin, dry lips, you may notice that later tonight into tomorrow because of how dry the air mass is going to be. So, in terms of the cold, it's tonight and tomorrow. Let me show you the freeze alerts here. So there's two zones I want to show you about. First is this freeze warning. So the freeze warning is in effect when we see the temperatures expected to drop to 32 or lower. So 32 or lower. So places like Ocala, Gainesville, Jacksonville area, Tallahassee, this is where the actual temps could damage crops and plants, freezing temperatures. For the rest of Central Florida, there's no freeze warning in effect. So it's these areas in purple where the air temp is going to fall to 32 or lower by tomorrow morning. For the rest of the area, it's not going to heading into tomorrow morning. So places that includes Bellevue, Ocala, Crystal River, Spring Hill, the Gainesville area, Williston, Palatka, Crescent City, Lakeside, then up towards Baldwin, and then in the Florida Panhandle, essentially the whole Panhandle. And that freeze warning extends back to New Orleans and across all of the Carolinas. And again, it's these areas where the temp will be below 32 degrees by tomorrow morning. Outside of that, south of that area, it's not going to fall below 32. It'll stay above that in these areas heading into tomorrow morning. So if you're in the freeze warning, you definitely need to protect plants, crops, and things like that, as it'll be a big impact over the next, let's say, day or so in the morning. So let's take you through the Fox model here. Let me put this queued up here to the correct time. So let's walk you through how things look. I'll put on the fronts. Hope you had a great weekend. Let me know if you have a question, comment, and concern about the cold. How do you feel about it? I mean, hey, I always say I love a good cold shot, but, you know, for a day or two. The good news is this one's not going to last a while in Florida. So here is, right now, there's the front, but the cold is lagging behind. The cold is really like right here at 3 o'clock. And the cold's coming in like this for tomorrow morning. So here's the maps. Notice we clear it out. And this high is unusually far south. That's what's, remember, the high pressure rotates counterclockwise. So that's what's forcing all the cold down all the way to South Florida from up north. And you can see the effect, essentially it's like lake effect showers, where you get really cold air over the warm ocean, and that's why you get all these clouds and showers out over here, then out of the Gulf, is because you get really cold air over warm water, and it creates showers. So kind of always cool to see in big Arctic outbreaks, you get these cloud streets, we call them, just rows of clouds and rows of showers out over the open water, and then over lands in the Florida Peninsula, it's completely clear, and this is early tomorrow morning. So a gusty morning, very cold. Tomorrow, not a cloud in the sky. Now the change for Wednesday morning is the high kind of slides right overhead, and that'll allow maybe some more frost. This could be more of a frost concern, even in places like Orlando that are going to be 38, 39, 40, because with a clear sky and calmer winds with the high being right over us, frost is more of a concern for Wednesday morning. So we're definitely going to talk about that for Wednesday. So it's possible, even though that the temperatures are higher on Wednesday morning, that we have more of a frost concern across Central Florida. That is definitely a legitimate potential for sure. So let me know where your comments are coming from. Arena, hello. Love this weather too much. Heat is not good for you, although I've got comfortable Florida weather. A bit cold is not bad, so bring it on. I love the attitude there. I can get down with that. That's some good commentary there. Let me know how you feel about this cold air. It's going to be cool seeing all the tourists on I-Drive freezing tomorrow in Central Florida. I can't imagine booking a vacation then coming down into 30s. That would probably be kind of not fun. Lauren says, I'm looking forward to it. It's a nice change from the heat and humidity. That it is, and it's going to be near 90 again next week. So definitely, it's not going to be that long-lived in terms of the cold. It'll be gone before we know it in Central Florida, that's for sure. So there's Wednesday morning. We'll watch for that frost concern with the high coming overhead. And then we start to get maybe a few more clouds at the end of the week, but still it's really kind of dry. Let me take you on the longer range Fox model now. Give me a second and I'll cue this up for you. Let me put this back to the camera. Hello. So give me 1 second. I'm going to cue up the long range Fox model, and I'll take you out and show you how things look heading into the weekend. Speaking of the weekend, can you believe Thanksgiving is not that far away? Crazy how fast that has come. Okay, so here's the long range Fox model. Get you this now. So here we are Friday, and notice this big area of high pressure over Florida. Still completely clear. Really big high here, and then all this mess. Let me make this a different color here. Let's make this white, and we'll make it really huge so we can see it. So here's Friday, super big high over Florida. You see that here, and then all this mess starting to build out west. There'll be the next storm systems that form here, and that's why we're going to get really cold here and really warm out here. And as this pattern flips into next week, it's going to get really warm again. But you notice there's still not even really any rain to talk about. Now, in the tropics, there is still a small chance later this week into next week that something tries to form in the Caribbean. We'll definitely keep an eye on that, but it's not going to be a threat to Florida. It does not look like, which is good news. But you can see, yeah, there's a little bit of a hint beneath this high. This is Saturday of this coming weekend. Here's the high. Maybe a little bit of a tropical hint here, a little bit of a tropical hint here by Aruba. But again, this one will go this way, this one will go that way. But yeah, outside of that, things are pretty calm and quiet. But the next thing we'll watch for next week, so here's Saturday. The next thing we will watch is these storms over here. Big storm over here, lots of showers and storms. This is going to come at us for next week. This high will retreat. It'll go back into the Atlantic, and we'll watch these storms coming in for probably about the middle of next week. And the temps are going to soar. In fact, let me show you the European model here for the temps. Let me pull these up for you here. So this is the raw euro today. Yeah, look at the temperature swing here. Look at that. Look at the temperature swing. So we go from 50s tomorrow. These are the highs and the lows. So the highs are in the yellow boxes and the lows are the blue numbers. And notice we go from 57 to 68 to 74 to 75 to 78 to 83. We're back near 90. So this is an incredible flip in 180 of the weather pattern from really cold to really warm and hot by next week. And you can see the temperatures back close to 90 by the middle part of next week. So if you hate the cold, the good news is it's not going to be long-lived. In fact, it'll be back close to 90, potentially heading into the Thanksgiving holiday. But it does look pretty active towards the end of the month. Pretty active towards the end of the month. And what I mean in terms of rain and thunderstorms. So this is not going to hold. And in fact, let me pull up the long-range modeling here. Yeah, so what we'll have to watch for is, you see where all the cold is right now, and I'll bring this up so you can see it. So here's all the cold. There's the cold in the east, and there's the warm in the west, and then they're going to flip, and you'll see the cold goes away, we get warmer, but there's the Arctic blast right now, and you can see this on the temperature plot here. We'll do the anomaly here. Look at the huge pool of cold coming in. Goes away, then it gets warm, and then maybe after Thanksgiving another cool shot comes in. But yeah, you know, it does look like it's going to get really pretty warm again towards the end of the month. And the cool thing about this is we can look at the jet stream pattern here, and I'll show you where the flow is coming from. So here's the wind at here's the wind at about, let's say, the jet stream level, and you can notice here, notice where the air is coming from. You can see it's coming from all the way up north. You see from Alaska and Western Canada, and a huge dip in the jet stream, the dip that goes down like that. And that's what we're tracking for in terms of the big drop into temperature. And you can see that there, where the jet stream goes up and then down into the eastern U.S., and hence why it's going to be so cold. And that does follow along with the temperatures. You can see the huge piece of cold, and you see that little lobe there that comes into the eastern U.S. See that little lobe right there? There's that piece of the Arctic blast, and you can see that the resemblance of that cold up to the North Pole. A little piece of that comes down into Florida. So really, if this was January or February, we'd be talking about probably temps in the teens in Florida, or snow. If you just took this same weather map and it occurred in January, February, when even the air over here is colder in this part of the country, you know, this anomaly below average in January, February would result in teens. probably 20s for temps. And you can see over on the other side of the world in eastern Russia and China, there's some big cold as well. But it's really the coldest air in North America right now coming down into the United States the way it looks. So yeah, so a big rebound in terms of the temperature after tonight, tomorrow, heading into the weekend. So this continues to be the story up north, where it is just continuing to thump snow, lake effect snow up in Michigan. And here's the feels like readings right now. 61 in Orlando, 25 in Atlanta, 39 in Macon, 43 in Raleigh, 20 in Columbus, 28 in Pittsburgh. Definitely, it's about to go down, the temperature, big time. Big time. Yeah, so let me know how you feel about it. It's going to be short, but really significant. Now, again, frost is not a concern tonight because there's too much wind. But in terms of covering your plants, covering your flowers, garden, essentially from the Villages and Palm Coast and north, those are the areas that you want to cover your plants, cover your flowers, things like that, heading into tomorrow morning. And those are the places where the temperatures are going to be coldest, be a little bit warmer towards the Space Coast and over towards Cocoa Beach, heading into the early part of tomorrow morning. Look, is this level of cold historic? No, we've had temperatures in the 30s and 40s plenty of times before. The thing that's historic is, again, how early in the year it is. Generally, we see this, and I'm going to try to come up with some graphics for this for you on the news at on the news tonight, 5, 6, 10, and 11. Generally, you see this later in the year. You know, not really this early in the year. So that's the big story. And tomorrow, those temps are not going to really move much. I mean, they're going to be stuck essentially into the 50s, which really is pretty significant for, again, how early in the year we are here. All right, so Harry, hello Colton, hello Kelly, hello Christina on YouTube, sent me a message. I'm watching. Hello, good to see you. Let me see some more of your comments. But yeah, dress warmly tomorrow. It's going to be freezing. It's the coldest in a while this early in the year. Hello from Kissimmee on Facebook. Hello. How are you? Hope you're doing good out there. And the cold is the headline, but again, the cold is going to be short-lived in the grand scheme of things, heading into the next couple of days. So let me put up a few more graphics for you here before I let you go. If you have a question, I'd love to hear from you about the cold or anything else weather-related. But so there is why we've issued this storm team alert for tonight and tomorrow, because of the record cold that's going to be coming on in. And that record cold is going to cause some very frosty conditions at the bus stop tomorrow in Orlando. They're talking about temps in the 30s, then coming home, temperatures in the 50s. So either way, it's going to be freezing in Florida. Now, a reminder of what a freeze watch versus a freeze warning is, and a freeze warning is what we have in Ocala. Those areas of temperatures to be at or below freezing. And a freeze watch means they could be, but I issued a little bit further out in time. But we have freeze warnings in effect for the areas north of Orlando. That pink is actually a freeze warning. Right there is a freeze warning from Ocala to the Villages and Gainesville. So a freeze warning there in purple. Those are the areas to care for your plants, cover them over, because they will get damaged if you do not, in the areas in purple heading into tomorrow morning with these temperatures. So in terms of the records, the last time this cold, now it's going to trend lower. Yeah, the records for tomorrow are going to be broken in most places easily for tomorrow. But yeah, no, it's totally feasible that most places that have records are going to break them tomorrow. And you can see the some history here. The last time we had 30s was middle part of January or the later part of January back this year. So it does happen every winter. It's just generally it's a couple of times that we have temps into the 30s. So I appreciate all of you watching on Facebook, YouTube, Fox Local. It's always great to talk to and hear from all y'all on the weather here. We'll be tracking this cold story for you tonight in the news at 5, 6, 8, 10, and 11. But nothing like this to our north. This is what's going on up in Michigan right now. Yeah, how about that for any takers? You want any of that right now? I don't know if I would take that. Actually, that's a lie. I'll take 1 day of snow in Orlando, then go back to 90 degrees. That would be fine with me. This is up in Michigan or Chicago. This is the bean right now. You see things are calming down there in terms of Chicagoland, but you can see the snow there around the bean. All the tourists getting their picture. I was up there only once in Chicago have I been there, but it was really cool. You got to get the obligatory picture of the bean when you go up to Chicago, right? When you go there downtown, pretty cool spot. But you see the snow there on the ground. Again, that does continue in this Arctic blast. Let me look at all the lake effect snow here. Very early for that right now. But the low pressure causing this is in New England right now. Here's the fronts, and here comes all of the cold surging like this. Remember, around low pressure winds go counterclockwise and out ahead of it like that. So the cold will continue to pivot in behind that low through tonight and heading into tomorrow. So have a good rest of your night. Stay warm. We'll check the cold for you more on Fox 35 at 5, 6, 8, 10, and 11. And we'll have updates as always, Fox Local, our streaming platform, and then on the website, fox35orlando.com. So stay warm. I'll see you tonight in the news. We'll talk to you about it more. If you have a question, comment, or concern, please send it on our way. Have a good night.